So just outside, a fellow investor's commercial conversion he's got on the go at the moment. So I have not been inside yet. So we'll see what he's planning to do with this. I believe it was a newsagent's and or a photographer's before that. So I think from the thing he sent me last night, they put in an application for 3 apartments. I don't know if they're 1-bed apartments, 2-bed apartments, but I'm sure, knowing the investor, he's a savvy chap. I'm sure he picked this up at a phenomenal price. He's having the refurb done on time and in budget, and he'll have some decent options with this as well. So yeah, there's nothing wrong at all with staying in your lane, if you're watching this and you're a buy-to-let investor, nothing wrong at all with that. I spoke to a colleague the other day, and his mentality is that every buy-to-let is just another brick in the wealth wall. So yes, they can be boring, vanilla, there's lots of fancy strategies out there, for instance like this commercial conversion, but all depends on yourself, your tolerance to risk, what you're looking to achieve. For a black belt investor, obviously I always say diversify, but only once you've got a certain knowledge and skill set with a particular strategy. What I'd never do is one buy to let, and then the next thing I'll do is a SA, then the next thing is a HMO, then the next thing is a commercial conversion. You just want to make sure that you're, getting a decent skill set, keep taking steps further forward, making the process more refined. Hopefully you can hear me. I've just realised it's quite a busy road this, but it is a nice area. This definitely is a golf club literally a minute up the road. So yeah, I'll probably do a quick walk around after this, see what the situation is, and again, keep taking steps further forward. I always say to my mentees, keep investing in this mindset, and obviously invest in a copy of my book. The book is called The Property Investor's Blueprint, a black belt approach to property investing. So maybe check out the website, but let's see what he's going to do inside. Next video. So we're just inside now. I'm waiting for my colleague to turn up, but I thought might as well make the most of it before he arrives. So having a look at this now, it's completely back to brick. As you can see, apparently it was newsagents, but literally hadn't been touched for 30, 40, 50 years. And from looking at the plans, let's come and have a look over here. Always good to see. The plans there, it's going to be 3 double bedrooms. So we've got this floor here, which is the ground floor, the lower ground floor, which I haven't been down to yet, and upstairs as well. So yeah, it looks like it's going to be a good little project this coming along. So let's head through into here, and you can see I just had a bit of a scan through there. I think there's obviously stairs at one point here, and I think as well from looking down there, new floorboards. Probably the stairs as well used to take you downstairs to the lower ground floor. New windows seem to have been put in there, and again some new pipework upstairs for probably, I don't know, ensuite or something up there, maybe the main bathroom. So 3 double bedrooms, so this is probably going to be a bedroom as well. Again, it's just a building site at the moment, so nothing much to see other than the potential it has. Just having a scan over as well these plans, in order for them to meet the regulations and so on, the bay windows. So that obviously shop front needs to go, and they're going to be putting I think 2 more bay windows there. This bay window here needs to be replaced because it's too low, and obviously it needs to keep like for like. So I think they need to be, so they can park their cars just underneath the bay of the bay window, 1.2. So we'll see. We'll head on upstairs now. Brand new staircase, definitely. Excuse me. And to get into the, obviously this will be a separate flat. The front door will be there, and then you'll hook through here on these stairs. Where are we going? Let's have a look. Coming up through here. Again, probably the reception area, and probably round here. Let's have a look. Kitchen area there. It does have a lot of potential, this, but again, we've had to do all the roof there, so there was no membrane on the roof. They managed to use the slates again, which is always good. Coming through into here, getting the stud work there for probably the main bathroom. This is probably one of the double bedrooms, I think so, yeah, one of the double bedrooms. And coming through onto this one, Again, one of the double bedrooms are all decent sizes, these definitely. So I'll head on downstairs really. What he told me before though is that they had to take out the chimney stack, which went all the way from, obviously I'm on the first floor now, here, down onto the floor that I've just been on and down into the lower ground floor as well. So commercial conversions are excellent, definitely. However, just need to make sure that your budgets are always, or you've done your refurbs. For this, for a first timer, this would be quite daunting. But obviously for somebody that's quite seasoned and stuff, this should be pretty much money for old rope really. But yeah, it will come together this, definitely. Sure that there'll be some good numbers on this project. And I might do, again, a video of downstairs really. Now, I don't know if I showed you before, but outside the scaffolding's up and they've had that whole gable end rendered. That isn't their property though. But again, still massive square footage in here, definitely. And I'm sure the numbers will be excellent. So keep watching. Don't be put off or anything like that. Just remember, just take those steps further forward. Excuse me, all the time. White belt, yellow belt, orange belt, and so on, up to black belt. So I'm just on the lower ground floor of this commercial conversion project on the go at the moment. My friend is running a little bit late, so I've just spoke to him on the phone and he's told me a little bit more about what they're planning to do here, or what they are going to do. He's going to convert all three of these, and they're not going to be run as ASTs. He's going to be doing them as SA, serviced accommodation. And obviously on basic maths they're about £100 per night for this. So the maths are always good when it comes to SA, they really are. Going on from that though, again, with the headroom here, as you can see, the headroom there moving into this is going to excavate about 5 inches. About 5 inches from this, even though we've still got a decent headroom up here. He's going to excavate 5 or 6 inches. Obviously the windows will be going in and that type of stuff. There's a lot of potential here, which is fantastic, and that's what you always need to be looking at really. You know, just imagining it as a shell. So from here, I'll just show you, just be careful. I think I mentioned earlier on the staircase when I was upstairs. That's where the staircase used to come downstairs. You can notice here, just from there now, if you have a look up there, is doubled up there on the joists and so on. So there's obviously, like any refurb, even if it's just a one bed terrace back to back type of thing, there's always going to be things that you haven't really noticed or maybe taken into consideration, but that's where it's always, obviously where the experience comes into play really. So with this now, 2 bedrooms down here, 1 self-contained flat, 2 bedrooms on the ground floor, 2 bedrooms on the upper floor as well. Now, he just told me a little about the numbers. So they purchased this for $270 just over a year ago. Think about 14, 15 months ago, $270. And rough maths here, when these units are finished, they're going to be worth about $180 each. So an end value there of, you know, $570, something like that, 600, take away, yeah, about $550 something. So $270 there in the build, plus stamp duty. Now, again, this isn't just a little 10,000, 20,000, 30,000, 50,000 pound refurb. There's a lot of stuff going on here, but like everything, the more things that are going on, hopefully, if you've done your maths properly, the more potential you've got to make a lot of money with it. So this is going to be a good little asset for him that he's just going to keep in his portfolio. And this is one thing as well, which is always interesting when you speak to other investors. We do not have any SA units at the moment, okay? But we've thought about it for the last 12, 18 months and so on. And we decided that when one of our ASTs comes empty, we'll just try it as an SA unit. So we'll see how it goes, because at the moment now, with the renters' rights and all this type of stuff being pushed through, it just squeezes more and more. Obviously, it'll be forcing old landlords out, which is fine. The old ones that may be, you know, not wanting to invest in their assets and so on. But if you're wanting to invest in their assets and still provide a decent income, it's making it harder going down the single AST route. So the good thing about serviced accommodation is, again, they're not tenants, they're guests. They're going to stay for a night, 2 nights, 3 nights, a week or so on. But this one here, he said, if I'm in one of the units here now and you're going for a 70% occupancy rate, so let's just say 20 nights at £100, this is going to be yielding £2,000. Then the one above is 2,000, then the one above is 2,000, £6,000 per calendar month. Yeah, so of course, like in any business, there's ups and downs, and you know, you're going to have increased running costs. What we would never do though is, if it was an SA, try and run it ourselves. Definitely not. And anybody watching this, I suggest that you don't try and run it yourselves either. Otherwise, you're just again creating another noisy job for yourself. The whole purpose, really, one thing that I tell my mentees, you're looking to get into property not because of the fact that you want to create more of a job for yourself. It should be always about an edge against inflation, a chance to increase your wealth, and ultimately, you know, build out that passive income. So yeah, I'll head on up here as well, again, just before I finish. Hopefully this has helped a few people. Apparently it does have right of way across this. I'm walking through somebody's yard at the moment, or somebody's drive. So yeah, he's had this on the go now for about, so he's had the keys for about a year, and it's been on and off getting trades here and so on. But yeah, there it is. I know this is going to be an excellent project for him, and again, 5, 10, 15, 20 years down the line, I think he's going to look at this and his family and think it was a good little money spinner, this. So yeah, keep taking steps further forward. Start to build out your knowledge, but again, don't just acquire knowledge for the sake of acquiring knowledge. Acquire knowledge and then implement that knowledge, okay? Keep getting better all the time. Black belt investors aren't built overnight. Good luck.